Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, and all I can say is Detroit basketball, 115 to 103 over the Lakers. And, it's always so sweet. The Lakers get all the hype in the world, even when they're not that good. They get so much more coverage than everybody else. And even when we beat them in 2004, we killed them. We really won all 5 games, but we won the series in 5 games. And after the series was over, all the hype and all the talk and chatter was for the Lakers, about the Lakers, why the Lakers lost, not why the Pistons won. And the Pistons just dominated the series. But anyway, yeah, they get lots of, and it was interesting today. I got to listen to Bryce Simons, who does Piston podcasts on Piston Pulse, and he also does some other stuff too. But he was with Trevor Lane, who is a big guy that covers that. He does the NBA front office show, which is a great podcast, but he also covers the Lakers. And I heard him do a pregame about this game and said, the Lakers got to win these games. The Lakers got to win. They got to beat the bad teams. They got to win these games. It's so much pressure. They got to win it. It's not. They don't have to just beat the good teams. They got to make sure they take care of business on these teams. And so, yeah, we took care of business, and it wasn't easy. We got off to a good start thanks to our veterans, and then Cade came on later. Ivey had a great, fabulous game. Lots of guys played great. Holland had his best game of the season, other than making three. So our team didn't shoot threes very well tonight, and we still won. But the Lakers are a slower team. They don't have guys with quickness, and we out-rebounded them by a lot. We dominated the boards. We out-rebounded them by 13 rebounds. We got 17 offensive rebounds, and Stu and Duren were going after the ball, man. They were really battling down low for every rebound that they could get. But, yeah, it was sensational. Cade, triple-double, 17 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds. Clutch baskets at the end. With 3:03 left, he had a clutch turnaround, tough shot at the end, and then down the stretch with the game really close. They doubled him. They doubled him all the game. Anytime Cade got the ball on the side of the court and ISO, they just sent a second guy at him every time. And so it's hard for him, and he struggled. I mean, the first half, he's 1 for 5. He wasn't very good, and they really bottled him up. But he came through, and he really made some great passes. They double teamed him at the end of the game, and he kicked it out to Ivey for a big three. And then later they doubled him again, and he kicked it to Ivey, cut in the lane, and he shot a floater, and that sealed the deal for the Pistons. But we were up 67-53 at halftime, and again, it was the veterans. Harris and Hardaway scored, both had like 13 points, I think, at halftime, and they both were really efficient. They hardly missed a shot, and so that was huge for us. And the Pistons led by 19, though. This is what was scary. They led by 19 with 7:32 left in the third quarter. And then they did not score a bucket the rest of the third quarter. They did not score. I don't know why the announcers didn't have this during the game, but they didn't score the last 8 minutes pretty much or 7.5 minutes of the third quarter. The only points they got were 2 free throws by Ivey, no baskets for 7.5 minutes, and so that the game got close. And but the Pistons, instead of choking like we had done in the fourth quarter, they played tough. I mean, like I said, Cade was sensational. Stu he just battled. He just was so tough. He had this great block on LeBron. They call fouls for LeBron. LeBron hits back his head and acts like he gets fouled or hit, and he got some cheap calls. But Stu makes this fantastic block, and JB challenged it, and we won the challenge. I didn't think we would because it was LeBron, and so but we won the challenge. But it was a great block. Duren blocked him also, and so Duren had another great game. 17 rebounds. He had no, he didn't have 17 rebounds. He had 14 rebounds, but he had 8 offensive rebounds. And so he got in some foul trouble, and so he made some dumb fouls. Stu got a technical, which was a terrible time. He played such a great game. He plays so hard with so much passion. And then down the stretch, it's right at the end of the game when every point is big. And luckily, Anthony Davis missed the technical free throw. But, yeah, it was a fun game. It's a fun night, and I'm sure people were laughing when I said the Pistons might make the play-in, and because I said they weren't gonna earlier, in the season. I said I don't because I didn't think they could get up to 36. Who knows now? I mean, we're riding the hype train, man. We're riding the momentum. It's all exciting, and we overreact. I'm overreact. I'm a fanatic, but I do think that this team, the veterans, we should have won some of those other games if the veterans were shot like they did tonight. Of course, Beasley was terrible tonight, and Beasley really hurt us. And he takes bad shots, and um, he can make them, but it's just hard to be consistent. But what I've said is, with Beasley, Hardaway, and Tobias, that we just need, one of them to have a really good game, and one of them to have a decent game, and one of them not to be too terrible. And then, they play a lot of minutes, and so, we would be in really good shape. But it was a huge win for us. So Hardaway was 4 for 8 on threes. The rest of the team was 4 for 30, and we still won. And it just kills you. Holland was sensational. He drove the ball right down Anthony Davis, one of the best shot blockers, best defenders in the whole NBA. He drove it at him once, took it right to him, and he drew a foul and made 2 free throws. And then later on, he drove right on him. Anthony Davis jumped as high as he could, and Holland snaked it around him and put it in the basket. He's fearless. That kid's fearless. He's like 19 years old, but he's got this great opportunity to play, and he's take advantage. But he was 0 for 5 on threes, and I mean, it just kills you. And just like Tobias was 1 for 7 on threes, and they're wide open, and I mean, every three's a big shot, and I don't know why Tobias is shooting like. He's shooting like under 20% on threes, and he's been a career good 3-point shooter. But anyway, his shot looks really flat to me, so I don't know. Come on, Fred Vinson, get that shot up for us. But Hardaway, 32 minutes, 7 for 12, 4 for 8 on threes, really efficient, 1 for 1 on free throws. I still got to harp on you, Hardaway, even though I love the way you played, and I wasn't a fan, but I'm becoming a fan. But how do you play 32 minutes and not accidentally get 1 rebound? And he did accidentally get 1 assist, but he doesn't do much besides shoot. But he's a good shot maker. He made some tough ones. He made a tough one off the dribble, but he had 19 points. Tobias was 1 for 7 on threes, like I said, but he was 7 for 15 on the rest of his shots. So he was 6 for 8 on the rest of his shots. But like I said, he had wide open, but he got 7 rebounds and 1 assist and 1 steal and 1 block and 15 points. He got in some foul trouble too. And Ivey, magnificent. We have this guard duo, and how many of you said that they couldn't play together? A lot of people did. And trade Ivey, and he's 10 for 16 and 1 for 2 on threes. Hit the big clutch 3, put the nail in the coffin at the end of the game. He was 5 for 7 from the line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 4 turnovers, which is a little bit too many, but not bad. 26 points. So again, Cade played 36 minutes. He was only 1 for 5 on threes also, and he's got to do better on that. And he was 2 for 5 on free throws. Hardaway shooting the technicals now, but Cade has, I couldn't understand why Hardaway's shooting them, because Cade's, he's been shooting 87% from the free throw line for basically his career. But he shot 1 tonight because Hardaway was off the court, and he missed it. He choked on it, but he had only 3 turnovers, 17 and 11 assists, and he handled the ball, and he handled the double teams and all that, and he was great. 17 points. Beasley, though, 28 minutes, 2 for 10 and 1 for 5, and he really hurt us. He's got to be better than that. He's a good shooter, right? He's got to just like I said with Hardaway. I watched him in his career, and when they shoot good shots, they shoot a good percentage. But when they take, they can make tough ones, but the tougher the shot, the lower percentages are going to be, even if you're a really good shooter. So my heart breaks for Fontecchio. You can just tell that he's just dying inside. That 13 minutes, 0 for 3, 0 for 2 on threes. He took 1 bad shot. He missed 2 open threes, and he drove to the basket, took a bad shot. When we were struggling to score in the end of the third, like I said, the last part of the third quarter, and he makes a tough drive down the lane, and it's not a good shot, and he misses. But he had 2 rebounds, 1 assist. He had 4 fouls in 13 minutes, and so nothing he can do goes right. And Stu played 25 minutes, and again, he was a battler. He was so tough, and he scored 8 points, and he had 9 rebounds, and just battled. Played tough defense, played tough on LeBron, played tough on AD, and Cade played great defense on LeBron. Fantastic. He made LeBron shoot a fadeaway once, and LeBron completely traveled, and they didn't even talk about it. He completely traveled and faded away, and missed it, but he made things hard for LeBron, so that was great. But Holland only played 17 minutes. He scores 12 points, 4 for 9, 0 for 5 on threes. So he's um, he was amazing, other than his 3-point shots, and they were open. They didn't look bad, and I just if just one of them could have gone in, but he had 4 rebounds and 2 steals in only 17 minutes. So it's not quite Asar, but Asar would do crazy stuff like that. But yeah, the Pistons shot 47%, only 23% on threes, and that was mostly due to Hardaway. And we had 62 rebounds, 17 offensive, but 12 turnovers only. So, I mean, that's going to be the recipe. I mean, I think we have a good chance to win if we can keep our turnovers like 15 or lower. Even we can win. We have a pretty good offensive team, but our defense we don't have good individual defenders, but we held the Lakers to 103 points. They averaged like 116 or 118. We held the Nets. They were averaging like 118, and they didn't even get to 100. And we did that in the preseason. I mean, this is not an accident. I mean, other than the debacle that was the Knicks game, this is not an accident. Our defense has been solid, and I give JB a lot of credit. I love the way JB subs. I love the way he got Cade out with like 3 minutes left in the third, and he put him in at the start of the third, took him out for a couple minutes in the middle of the fourth, and put him back into the fourth. Those are things that Monty could not figure out ever, and it's been really good to see the way he's working the players and switching them on, and like he's working the refs. He's fighting with he's in the refs' ears, fighting for his team, and like I said, that challenge was, I think, a big turning point when look, superstars in the NBA. I've watched the NBA for almost 60 years, and they've always gotten calls and stuff. So yeah, but Tobias had 6 out of 8 shots in the first half, and so Hardaway was 5 for 8, and so they really carried us especially that first quarter, and when Cade was struggling and Ivey didn't do much, and so, but it was a big win. Davis scored 37. He's a great player, and LeBron had 20. So, but LeBron wasn't scoring at all in the first half, and then all of a sudden at the end of the first half he scored a whole bunch of buckets, and we let those guys get away for some easy fast break layups on us in the first half too, but we did a much better job in the second half. But we were the quicker team, we were the more aggressive team, we were the more physical team. We went after the ball harder than they did, and we wanted the game. And I'm really proud. Now it's going to be a challenge because you get this big emotional win at home, and now you got to go play Charlotte, who's got a good ball club, but it's a different game. So again, I always talk about one team plays to win and one team plays not to lose. And so it's really hard when you're the Lakers, because every game everybody's playing coming to get you, and so you feel like the pressure to win. But yeah, anyway, I just think this is going to go a long ways for the Pistons. And I said before the year, I'm not saying we're going to be consistent. I'm not going to say we're going to win how many games, but we are going to be, I said, way more fun to watch this year. And we have so far, even in those games that we lost earlier on, except for the Knicks game. So anyway, it's good to be a Detroit fan. On Sunday, when the Pistons beat the Nets, it was the first time since December of 2021 where the Lions and the Pistons both won on the same day. So of course they don't always play on the same day. The Pistons during the football season don't play, I don't think, probably as many games on Sundays. And plus, Pistons have been terrible for the last 5 years, so it was hard to do. And the Lions were terrible until the last 3 years. So it's just good to be a Piston fan. It was cool to see that some of the Lions were at the game, and after the game they asked them why did you guys come to watch LeBron? And they said, no, we came to watch the Pistons. So that was cool. Another weird thing, Piston fans, there's a lot of fans that come out of the woodwork to go to the Lakers game. And, the Pistons charge twice as much. Like if the Pistons are playing the Hornets, the tickets are twice as much to watch the Lakers play as it is to watch the Hornets play. Literally twice as much. But anyway, but you get a lot of fans who just want to see LeBron play that aren't even as big of Piston fans, but they're chanting, "We want Bronny." Davis is shooting a free throw, and the game is close. It's in the fourth quarter, and it's like 101 to 92 with 5:34 left, and they're chanting, "We want Bronny." It's just it cracks me up. But anyway, yeah, I just nothing but joy, nothing but happiness today for our Pistons, and we'll see what happens Wednesday. But be the reason that somebody feels loved and cared for, and go Pistons.